Hiya folks, it's me, Brad, and I'm going to start saying this at the beginning of the video. We'll see how long that lasts, but your donations, your PayPal and Patreon support are really, really important to me. That's how I make my living, that's how I get through life, and that's how I bring you these videos. So thanks a lot for that, and don't forget to donate if you haven't donated, and thanks for your donations if you have donated. So let's get on to today's subject. I wanted to talk to you about a chapter in Shobo Genzo Book 3. It is called Sangai Yuishin. The triple world is only the mind. The reason I bring this up is in my blog, I don't know which direction my blog is in, I did a little piece about idealism and materialism. It was something that I wrote for my upcoming book, Letters to a Dead Friend About Zen, and then decided I needed to rewrite, and I offered it up on the blog as kind of an outtake. I revisited the same ideas in the book proper, and I felt like I did a better job in the chapters that actually came out in the book, but a lot of people seem to like the version that I put on the blog because I got some nice comments. But in there, I refuted Buddhism as a form of idealism, and this is something that comes up a lot. That a lot of people imagine Buddhism is a form of idealism, and by idealism, I don't mean optimism. Sometimes idealism, the word idealism is used as a synonym for optimism, and I used to get confused about that, so that's why I always mention it. It is the idea that the mind is the one thing, so it's all in the mind. You know, as George Harrison said in Yellow Submarine, it's all in the mind. There's that one scene, I don't know if you remember it, anyway. So it isn't like that. That isn't the Buddhist position. At least that's not Dogen's position. And what I'd like to read to you at the outset is Nishijima Roshi's intro to this chapter, because I think it's kind of interesting. He first explains Sangai, which is the triple world, as the world of volition, matter, and non-matter. And that distinction doesn't really matter that much. Matter. What is important in this is that the triple world means is a way of the Buddha saying the whole world, the whole universe, everything. Okay, so when he says Sangai Yuishin, when he says triple world is just the mind, he means everything is just the mind. The phrase, the triple world is only the mind, is often interpreted as an idealistic insistence that the whole world is produced by our mind. Historically, many Buddhist monks thought this was the case. Master Dogen did not agree. He insisted that in Buddhism, the phrase, the triple world is only the mind, means something far more real. This phrase refers to the teaching that reality exists in the contact between subject and object. From this viewpoint, when we say that the world is only the mind, we also need to say that the mind is only the world, to express the fact that the relationship is a mutual one. So that's Nishijima's synopsis of the chapter. The chapter itself is really difficult. In preparing this video, I must have read it 4 times, and it's only about 5 pages long, but it gets into some really deep stuff. So I'm just going to pick out a few lines from it that I find interesting and then see what we can say about them, or what I can say about them anyway. The triple world is the whole world. So Dogen is just clarifying that for his Japanese-speaking audiences, because Sangai is sort of a import from Chinese. We do not say that the triple world is the same thing as mind. The reason is that however brilliant in all aspects the triple world is, it is still the triple world. Even if we misunderstand that it might be beyond the triple world, that is completely impossible. Inside, outside, and middle, beginning, middle, and end, all are the triple world. The triple world is as the triple world is seen, and a view of something other than the triple world is a mistaken view of the triple world. So he's saying the triple world is the triple world. So the world is the world. It's not that there is something called mind and something called the world, and the real thing is mind and the fake thing is the world. The world, the material world, is what it is, but what we imagine it to be isn't the same thing as what it is. And Dogen is working on trying to get us to see this through saying strange stuff. And you have to kind of trust him if you want to kind of go along on the ride he's taking you on here. The reality of the here and now blocks off past, present, and future. So past, present, and future are ideas that we have, but the reality of the here and now blocks them off, in the sense that we don't live in the past and we don't live in the future. We don't even really live in the present as such, because the present is also kind of an idea we have about the present. The whole universe in 10 directions is a real human body. This is a phrase he uses fairly frequently in Shobo Genzo, and it's a weird phrase because you don't normally think that the whole world or the whole universe is a human body. But our connection to the whole universe is such that we can think of it that way. That what we are is continuous with the world we see ourselves in. We don't say that we exist and the world exists outside of us. We say that we are a continuous thing with the entire universe. So in a sense, the entire universe is an extension of our own human body. Mind itself is skin, flesh, bones, and marrow. Now, skin, flesh, bones, and marrow is a reference to Bodhidharma giving his disciples he says, one, you've got my skin, you've got my bones, you've got my flesh, you've got my marrow. It's a reference to that, but it's also a reference to real skin, real bones, real flesh, and real marrow, the stuff in the middle of your bones. It is saying that the mind and skin, flesh, bones, and marrow are not two different things. They are a continuous whole. So when we say that the universe is just us, that includes the mental part of us. The experiential part of us is also the universe, continuous with the rest of the universe. Even though we don't feel it when we step on our friend's toe, there is a sense that both the stepper and the stepped on are a continuous part of the same thing. There is conscious mind and there is unconscious mind. Now, I looked this up in the Japanese, and conscious mind, what he translates as conscious mind is yushin, and what he translates as unconscious mind is mushin. So it's a little bit of a stretch here. Yushin is with mind and mushin is without mind. Literally, it's with and mind, and then without and mind, put together as a word. There is mind in which the body is present, and there is mind in which no body is present. There is mind before the moment of the body, and there is mind after the moment of the body. Now, this is getting real mystical here. You know, he's saying that there is mind even when there is no mind. So some people kind of refute they'll say that if you're in a deep state of unconsciousness, then where is consciousness? But Dogen is saying that even in the state when consciousness is not present, there is still mind present. And that gets kind of weird and spooky, but this is trying to put forth this idea that what we think of as mind, you know, thinking and feeling and, you know, emotions, things like that, is not what he means by mind. Mind is something much bigger. It's an aspect of the whole universe. Even if we have the state of understanding the triple world is mind alone, we should also master not understanding the triple world is mind alone. I love it when he does stuff like this, because he's saying that even our understanding is not a complete thing in itself. Non-understanding is also included within it. This is some weird stuff, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I know I've probably not gone into like a real explanation of this thing in 8.5 minutes or whatever I made this video, but I find it to be a really, really interesting chapter and worth a read, and I'll put a link to where you can find Volume 3 of Shobo Genzo as a PDF, and you can read it for yourself. So thanks a lot for listening. We shall see you later. Bye.